didn't stick to me too bad. Okay, so I'll put this over here. That's the paper I'm going to print on. I use what kind of paper? Okay, I'm going to get to it. Get this old guy to shut up back there for a minute. We'll get going. You guys don't, I don't know what you're going to see because I work flat. So if you need to stand up, I'm going to stand up so you can too if you want to. I'm going to, I use Reeves BFK. When I first started doing this, it was about $2 a sheet. Now it's about $12 a sheet. Thank you, Mr. President. That's a tariff. Tariffs are killing me. It's made in Paris or France, someplace, not necessarily Paris. It's made in France, and it used to be pretty inexpensive, but it doesn't matter. It's just the cost of doing business. So anyhow, it's all cotton.
Yeah.
Cotton, 100% acid free.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm not worried. I see people doing ledger drawings a lot. And let me say a word about that. I love the drawings that people are doing and the imagery that they're coming out with. But the fact is they're working on paper that is very highly acidic. It won't last. And so they're working against themselves. I had a professor in college tell me one time that you got to be, if you're not going to make a masterpiece every time you go to your whatever you're working, at least know that you made a good antique. So I use rag paper, but I'm kind of working against myself too. I'm using oil paint, just regular run-of-the-mill oil paint. And it's not very archivally permanent. So just keep that in mind. Usually monotype is done, it's a printmaking process, and most real printmakers think I'm kind of working against the material, but I don't like printmaker's ink or printing ink, which you can buy. It's not that expensive, but it smells funny and it's really sticky. And textures and stuff like that bother me while I'm working. I don't like to wear gloves, but the paint I'm using is full of bad metals. There's cadmium and all kinds of metal in bad things in oil paint. And at one point, I lost all my fingernails because of the metals in the paint and turpentine. But luckily, they had medicine. They got me fixed up, and my nails grew back. And I learned my lesson. So be careful. This is just regular oil paint. I always lay out my palette the same way. This is Prussian blue. It's made out of lapis lazuli, which comes from Afghanistan. It's a stone, but it's so finely ground they put it with oil and it gets this beautiful blue. It's a what they call a fugitive color. If you leave it out in the light, it'll lose its color. So, and this is burnt umber, which is just cooked dirt. And I use a little of that. And I'll throw some other stuff on here just because I buy paint not necessarily for the color, but by the way it sounds too. This is Indian yellow. And this one is vermilion. Oh, it's kind of nice. It comes from South Dakota. No, it doesn't, but
College down
Hmm?
there. Then you could have that college down there.
Yeah, right out by the college,
Yeah.
college they find it, yeah. And this is a alizarin crimson. I like it. I just like it. And it's also another fugitive color.
What defines a fugitive color?
A fugitive color is one that won't hold its color. It's not color permanent. But you make it permanent by mixing it with other materials that stabilize it. I don't want to use that one. Well, this is kind of a nice sounding. Brown matter. It's the same thing as this, except it matters. I don't know. I've done this before. It's kind of like, so I'll take these two and mix them together. And okay, that'll be about right. See, but I'm getting a nice, if you use more brown or more umber with it, it gets into a green area. If you don't have as much umber with it, it stays pretty, the blue is pretty dominant. So I'll put a little bit more of that in. Form a little more of this in there. Okay, next question. I don't have anything in mind. And I said, what the heck? What did I do here? Or did that just bend? I must have got excited. It broke off. Well, not excited anymore. Okay. So anybody have any subject matter they'd like me to do? Oh, you guys aren't much help. You guys aren't much help. Okay, I'll just start there. What I put on first comes off last. So if I printed that, that's what you'd end up with. So, okay. Don't get excited, folks. Hold your place. This is a special paper I use too. This is what we call John Wayne paper. It's rough and it's tough and don't take crap off anybody. It comes from this is the same kind of paper you find in gas stations, schools, and jail. Yeah, it's really cheap toilet tissue, and it's very tight. It's not linty. If you get the stuff that's soft, it doesn't work very well. This works fine. Okay, what do I do? Well, guys aren't much help, so I just have to come up with something then.
Oh, owls. You got anything on owls?
Yeah, I can do an owl, but it's a little difficult. I think I'm going to do a crow first,
Just do a crow.
and then we'll move into something else. I'm almost finished. Dan, I'm going to do it this way. Can't do it that way. Well, this is a plastic eraser. You used to be able to buy them. They don't make them anymore. When I was in Minneapolis years ago, I went into an art supply store and asked them if they had any of these, and they said, "Well, I think we have some over there someplace." And so I bought all they had. But they're plastic eraser. They used to work pretty good for what they were meant for. They're just clear. They're clear plastic. But they're soft, really soft. I just cut them at an angle and sharpen it up. And it works good for what I do.
So do you use those colors because that's the color of the girl's feathers?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're taking ink away now, right? With that,
Do what now?
you're taking ink away.
I'm just taking paint away. Yeah. I just kind of
Paint.
worked it up and I can kind of.
So did you have to go out and like watch the crows and study them?
I watch them all the time. I watch him all the time. I know what he's doing. I know, I kind of know what they're thinking, and sometimes they don't make it obvious.
So did you think to do these prints before or after watching the crows?
I watch them all the time. I don't know.
Did they inspire this?
I guess so. Yeah, of course. You know, yeah, they do.
It wasn't just somebody saying, hey, can you do a crow for me? And then you do a crow.
Yeah.
It was something that.
Well, actually, I didn't do crows for a lot of years. I had this really good friend, Bobby Penn. You ever heard of him? He was one of my heroes. And Bobby he's a great painter when he was with us. He died a few years ago. And he asked me one time, I had done a crow or two, and he's asked me, he said, Raj, you know, I'm kind of known for my crows. Could you not do them? And I said, well, I guess, you know. So I didn't do one for a long time. And one day I just did. And the next day I found out that he had already passed. So I don't know why there was a certain connection there, you know. And I like that. I like that when you get those kinds of things happen. You know. Okay. So you put it on and you take it off.
Have you gotten to the point where you can do this without thinking about like what you're gonna do? Does it just?
Yeah.
happen?
That's where I'm at right now. Do what?
You're actually taking a nap.
Actually, I've done hundreds and hundreds of these. Maybe 1,000, I don't know, maybe more. Yeah, that's fine. You can come closer if you want. That's just fine. Just don't be afraid of making a mistake. If you make a mistake, you just wipe it off.
Hmm.
You know, doesn't matter.
That's pretty cool because we talk with these guys a lot about making mistakes and how important it is to make mistakes.
Yeah, you need to make mistakes. Mistakes are really good when you realize you've made a mistake. It's don't be afraid to admit that it was not something you planned, you know. That's just fine. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody. This is probably going to be a big mistake. And if it doesn't come out, it's okay. Don't be so concerned. And that's another mistake that a lot of people make is when they're working, they're more concerned about what they end up with. Don't be worried about what you end up with. Have a better time just getting there, making the art. The art is in the making, not in what you end up with. That was too long, that coming back there. So whatever I put on the plate is gonna print. Gonna- I need a little bit more of this.
Magic. He's magic.
Well, magic like, it's not really.
Wild.
I don't like all that up there. I probably throw away 70% of what I do. It's okay. It's okay.
Can we go through your dumpster?
You aren't getting the plague, are you? That used to be, they used to came up with that term, bless you, when somebody sneezes. That was because that was one of the early signs that they were contracting the plague. Sneezing is. Okay, I'll just, it doesn't matter. I'll just do it. That's good enough. Put a few more marks in here just to make you think I know what I'm doing.
What is that tool called?
This is called a wipeout tool. It's a potter's tool. It's soft rubber, little soft rubber tip. Yeah. These tools, you can't really buy these tools, so I have to make my own a lot of times. These are a printmaker's tool. It's a ink brayer, but I've been using these for years. Okay, I'm gonna print this just because. Taking down some of those high spots so I don't get big ugly blotches in it.
Gonna ask, will it like smear if there's like too much?
Well, if there's too much piled up, then it'll just print really dark and ugly, kind of not very pretty.
About how many crows are where you live, the ones that you give water to?
Do what?
How many crows?
I have about 5 or 6 of them come to my place all the time, every day. Now, this time of the year, they're not as very active. I think they go to someplace else for the winter sometimes. Okay.
Does that tool right there have a particular name or?
Hmm?
Does
Now,
that-
this is called a brayer, a burnisher. I made it myself. It's just a hardwood. When you're printing, you have to hold the paper down so it doesn't shift. Now, I've applied about 200 pounds of pressure from my arm onto this really small edge there. And that's what you end up with. Okay. I'll just show you part of it now. But there's a lot left on here. I can pull a lot of that off yet. I have another tool. This is a piece of agate, hard rock, that I glued into a board, and I can hold on to it. And I put these holes in here so I can spin it.
You put an agate.
What?
Why did you choose to put an agate?
It's hard,
Right.
pretty hard, yeah. Okay, that was 200 pounds of pressure. This is about 4 times more. That's about 800 pounds with the weight of my arm pushing down onto this smaller edge. And I'm pulling up more of it, see? Okay, but there's more yet. I have another tool here. This is a deer antler and that material they call corian, of these make it for countertops. And I just glued it and riveted it into that deer antler.
So your tools are getting smaller and smaller.
Mhm.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, I'm doubling, almost doubling that pressure too now. So I've got a lot of pressure on that small edge.
What are you looking for when you do that?
I'm looking to see how much I'm pulling off the plate. How much material I'm pulling up off this plate that's down here. The color I put on first will come off last. That red that I put on, it's just gonna, I didn't leave it all on, so I'm kind of pulling it up. So I'm throwing some kind of odd color into that head. And I have another, no, I have that too. Huh. Oh, I have another, oh, there's another little tool.
Yeah.
Huh?
Your
It gets
tool,
smaller and smaller.
Yeah, but see now I've increased the size of that surface too now. So I'm over 1,000 pounds of pressure onto this edge, this little light edge there. This is made out of an agate, a deer antler. You know what that red stone is? That's a toothbrush handle. I've done this before. I'll be here all week. I don't want to get it off. Now I go and go around the plate to let anybody that knows what they're looking at, let them know that this is some kind of a print. It's just all yeah, plate mark, you gotta have some tricks. So what we get, it's magic. See, but on the plate, there's very little left. I pulled it all off. I could probably print another print off that, but it's really not gonna be okay. It wouldn't be good. Okay, I'm warmed up now. That's it. I'm just starting. They told me I have to be for here for 2 hours. I tried to tell Ray the other day that I don't know if I can do 2 hours. Okay, I'll try. Something else just came into my head.
That material called muslin, I think is what they usually use for painting.
For what?
For print making, for mono print making, that muslin like material, it's got like kind of a texture beneath it. Have you
Well,
ever used that to?
Yeah, you can, but see, I don't use a press. That would work just fine if you have a press, but I don't have that. And when I started doing these, I was working, like I said, with Steve Britko down in Santa Fe, and he had a 6-ton lithographer's press, and he could pick up anything. But I don't have that luxury. I couldn't bring a press in that door.
Yeah.
Or load it in my car. I can do this anywhere. So that's why I kind of developed this hand burnishing technique, because I can go anywhere and I can do live, plein air, and as long as I have some kind of stable surface to work on. I've gone off to shows back in the late 80s where I wasn't prepared for a show, like a market, and work in the motel, the night before. There's motels I can't go in anymore because tables got all screwed up. And okay, you take this off here. Got another piece of paper here. I did this yesterday, just trying to kind of get ready for this. Or maybe it wasn't yesterday. Maybe I didn't do this yesterday. I don't remember.
You did that backward, or
Yeah. Is this guy? I had it going the other way, didn't I? But you didn't know that.
hey, can I feel that?
Sure.
What does the paper feel like?
Rag paper. It's just ordinary cotton rag paper, yeah. Huh?
Did you hear that one, Roger?
No.
South Dakota Arts Council said you're magic.
Oh, they did. Well, they should. They're right. I love it when people are right. What are they doing watching the Arts Council? They don't have anything else to do. I used to serve on the State Arts Council. I got tired of it. Okay. Okay, let's do something else then. Sorry I broke that. Let's throw some of this in there too. Some of that too. People just make everything so difficult. There's nothing hard about any of this.
Wayne, oh, where'd you go?
Do what? What'd you say?
You missed it.
I can't hear. That's kind of a good thing. My wife says it's selective, but
It's a real condition, you hear it?
hearing is a conditional problem. I'll throw all that stuff in there. What the heck? Okay. See, it doesn't change the color very much, but it will. It will. It still looks all pretty black, doesn't it? Okay. Let's so if I go here like this, I could print that right now and get $1,000 for it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Just using up some material. Okay. Let's take some of this back off. Oh yeah, that's nice. Nice gray. Getting a nice gray going on.
Okay.
How often do you do this? Do you do this every day?
I don't necessarily make a print every day, but I work in my studio every day. I do something. And I always tell my students, no matter what you do, you have to do something all the time. Keep those muscles working. Keep your brain connected to your hands. You know, whether you're building something or taking a picture. You're connecting your hands and your brain and your eye, everything's working together. You know, build something. If you don't have anything else, if you don't want to do a print or something, just do it. Go build something. I got a face coming out of this. I got a face coming out of this here, and we'll find it here in a second. Just kind of search around. Kind of search around and find it. What we got happening here? See, something's gonna slide out of that in a minute. Something will come out of this. Just believe it. Just believe. Gotta believe. If you want to say something, it's just fine. It helps me when people talk.
So do you intentionally not use black?
Huh?
You intentionally don't use black?
Not use black?
Yeah, like you mix with
Yeah.
the blues and the browns and the yellows. And
There's a lot of color in here.
yeah, but like black got right out of the tube.
I don't
Use
use
burnt.
black ever,
Yeah.
and I don't ever use white.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to. I guess. I don't know. Somebody always has to ask why. That's okay. Okay.
But if somebody sees your stuff and their first impression is that you used black.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it reads as black, but that's an interesting note, is that you don't actually ever use the Mars black, any of the blacks, right?
Mm.
Jesus, this is starting to look like Jesus.
Uh-oh. Lordy, lordy.
I'm not sure because I don't really know what he looks like. I don't think anybody else does either. Whatever. Okay. Pretty juicy. I've been here, I've done this before. wrinkly old guy. Oh, well, not working out too good. Doesn't matter.
So at this point, if it wasn't working out for you, would you just take the brayer and just add more
I could,
paint and then just,
or I could just
Going.
wipe it all out and start again. It doesn't matter.
would you just wipe it out because does the paint start to dry?
Well, you know, the funny thing about this, depending on the day, usually I have 20 minutes to a half hour open time before the paint starts to set up. It doesn't really dry, it just scales over. It dries from the top down. And so on a real dry summer day, you don't have hardly any time at all. But it's evidently that's fairly moist today and
Is there a best time of the year to paint? I mean, to do this?
probably right now, like now. You know, like this kind of weather.
You never really work on the ghost?
Do what?
Do you never work on the ghost?
No,
You
well,
always-
I do sometimes, but if you just take a small amount off the original pole, I can work on, and then go back and work the ghost again, but I'll add more to it, you know, kind of refresh it, you know, that's. That nose can. Say something, somebody.
It does kind of look a little bit to Jesus.
Huh?
Not anymore. Doesn't look like Jesus anymore. So.
Good, I'm trying to make him look a little rougher. Yeah. See, whatever you do is gonna change it just a little bit.
Are you thinking about things right now, like directional line,
Do what?
like directional line movement, like with your marks?
Yeah, I'm trying, yeah, I'm trying to get these lines all to do something, see? Yeah, I got several different directional things going on here. And it's kind of it's really hard for me to concentrate on this for some reason. It's not doing real good. It's hard. This is a hard one.
Yep.
This is a difficult one. The eye is way off. This eye is way off. Let's move that over.
Something said, huh?
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you were saying if you make a mistake, you know, just can work with it. You can-
That's better. Let's take this nose up. That's a little bit wide there. Need to throw some of this dark in that.
Have you ever done a portrait of somebody that you've known,
Yeah, I don't like to do that.
but you've done it?
Yeah. People always, when you do a portrait of somebody, they always want to be portrayed the way they think they look. That's a nose.
Plus they'll be back.
Huh?
And nobody's symmetrical, so you.
So you always make somebody up. You don't ever do something that people think they.
Look like they sleep themselves in.
Well, you get the idea. I'm gonna quit. But anyhow, let's try something else.
Freaked out.
Huh?
The fact that we have see outside. You know, I didn't think about that.
Huh?
Huh?
See, but back to your original thing about a mistake. Okay. It's okay. It's okay to make an error. It's okay. So I can kind of come back here. I could do that.
I think that having that mindset that mistakes are okay and you can just do it all over again. I think that changes like the way that you see everything and figure
Sure.
out, you know?
Sure.
And I think you
You know,
become even more creative.
and like I said, the beginning there is the art. What you end up with is just a byproduct. So don't worry about it.
What are you looking for before you decide it's time to pull it? What?
I don't know what I was doing. I just kind of playing.
Were you waiting for a certain expression to come out or something?
Huh?
How do you know when you wanna pull that?
When it's finished,
When you're ready to print it, yeah.
when it gets to the point
Is
where,
it just a feeling?
yeah, when you get to a point where you say, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, okay.
That'll work, you know? And that's all you can do.
Cause I saw when you were correcting that eye, then an expression came out of it. It was like that wasn't there before, and then all of a sudden there was a little tweak.
You know?
Wait till it talks to you.
Yeah, more or less. That's right.
Print me, Roger.
Well, I'm just using up some material here. Let's just go. Right there. You got an ear right here. Something else I know a lot about buffalo. I looked at them a lot.
So if there was a new subject matter that you wanted us to do in your art, would you then study it first?
Mm-hmm. Gotta know what it looks like. Not so much what it looks like exactly, but more how it feels. See?
So if you're doing that, do you have to watch them and watch like the way they behave and stuff?
Yeah, watch how they move. Watch how they interact. You know, this is just pretty simple stuff here.
You usually stick to like one color. I know you mixed a lot of colors together right there, but is it usually just that one color that you make, and is that how you do the majority of your?
Yeah, and then you know I can print this, and then I have other things, all these pencils and colored pencils. I can add all the color I want back to it. Okay. Huh?
Like, if you wanted to give this a name, what would you?
I don't know what I would call it right now. See, but this is
that oil pastel.
This is oil, this is oil pastel. You don't have to do a lot to it just to make it sparkle. There's a theory called the aerial perspective. Is the theory of aerial perspective. The lightest lights and the darkest darks come forward on the surface. Grays recede. So that's all you gotta do. Just add a little, I can add a little bit of white to it, the pure white. I don't want to paint with it because then everything muddies up. And that's enough. Or you can add other color to it if you want. I don't know what the hell this is. This is something else. That's too dry. Yeah, you got colors, all kinds of colored. I bought this box of oil pastels years ago. I bet I've had this box for 20 years and I don't use them. Which, I can usually get all the color I need from that just colored pencils, you know. Whatever.
I'm gonna ask why, but I know the answer.
What's that? What's in it?
Didn't use the rest of your, yeah, the rest of the colors.
It's,
So, yeah.
I don't like those things mostly because they're orderly. I don't my ADD. And if you take them out, then I feel like I have to put them back in their place. That just drives me nuts. Bill knows.
Huh.
Then you feel obligated to replace things, and I don't like to do that. Then you spend all your time thinking, worrying about getting it in the right place. Oh, let's print this. Pretty easy. I'm getting bored. Are you guys too?
Oh.
Some days it works better than others, you know. Some days I just don't have used all my energy in that interview. Okay, and go through all those steps. This is all pretty dark.
You ever use the press?
Do what?
Do you ever use? Press? No.
Never.
We love it.
I'm doing a project with Dale Lamphere now. Do you know Dale Lamphere? He did Dignity, you know. We're working on a project and I'm going to use a press for it. We have this show going on down at the Doll. It's called Flyby. Have you seen it? What?
Flyover.
Flyover, yeah. And Bill's one of the artists involved in that. And what the idea was, we just 5, 6 of us got together, and we've all been around this business for many years. I've been doing art since full time since 1979. And most of us have at least that long. And we just collaborated on a piece. And it'll go from the doll to the State Museum, then down to USD. And the idea is to get other artists involved in doing collaborations. Now, you and Chuck have done collaborations together, and I've done collaboration with, I don't think I've done one with Chuck, maybe we have, but I've done one with Don Montelo or a couple actually, and different people. And the idea of building art for the sake of the art. And that was my idea when we first organized this group, and it was really fun to do. And we're not done. It's something that's gonna probably really take wings and become a very very popular kind of art movement, we hope, in South Dakota. And so people will want to come to South Dakota for the art, not just for Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse. Yeah, just tear that off there. Oops. So that's what I know. Do you have any questions? You could do this. Yeah.
Don't tell me nothing, cause I'm usually all over the place, but I can't just fix, like, if I'm like doing digital art, it can't just be digital art, or if it's like ledger art, it's just ledger art. And there's too many things going on, and then Alicia knows, I have art supplies for days for about 30 different practices that I do one time. Like I have leather making stuff that I only use like one time.
Well, that's what my studio is made up of. All that stuff that a lot of people refer to as junk, but it's all inspirational. So you have it there when you have the impetus to do it, to use it. And that's cool.
Feels kind of Jasper Johnsy.
Huh?
Don't you think?
That's Jasper John,
Jasper
that's
Johns.
very Jasper Johns-ish, yes. Yeah,
Jesus Buffalo.
huh?
That's the Jesus Buffalo.
The Jesus Buffalo, yeah.
It used to be Jesus.
Jesus used to be under him.
Got Jesus underneath.
Yeah,
That's a cool piece, Robin.
yeah, that's good. Yeah. That's one thing I don't get at home. Nobody ever claps.
Yeah, you just keep that recording on.
Yeah. Yeah, you get one of those soundtracks, the applause soundtrack. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Dad.
He'll probably need the laugh track too, huh? Tell your jokes.
I tell you, the one thing that it happened to me just a couple times. What and last year I sent Bill a picture of the piece that I did. But it was like when I was working, I was like watching myself work. That's when you get to that place.
Oh, wow. I see
When
what
you
you're
get
saying.
to that place, I was no longer physically me.
Wow.
I was actually someplace watching me work,
Cool.
you know?
Yeah.
That's like nirvana. That's what I think what every artist in the world wants to get to that. When, okay, I don't have to think at least at all about what's happening. It's just doing it. So,
That's pure consciousness.
yeah, it's just, that's a crazy deal.
You hit your flow state.
Yeah.
You're what?
You hit your state.
Oh, man. Yeah,
In the zone, he's in the zone.
yeah. And you just don't want it to stop. You know,
That's what happens to jazz musicians a lot of times when they're,
Oh, yeah.
it's just coming out of them. They don't, they could, Jake talks about that all the time. My son. Is when it's just coming out. He's not there.
not
He's
participating.
not there. That just the music is coming through him from someone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You want a snack, Roger?
No, I'm good.
And don't feel compelled to fill up that whole 2 hours. It's whenever you feel good.
Well, I'm about done.
Yeah.
About done. It just isn't happening right now.
Those were marvelous.
Huh?
Both marvelous pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're okay. Yeah.
It was really interesting to how you had an image in mind when you went about this one. And then on about the crow, you knew it in advance, there was a crow
Yeah.
there. And then when you started this one, it started with nothing. and
This one
you
actually
found-
came
you conjured it.
came out more eagle. The beak of the
Yeah.
beak
Yeah.
bent a lot.
Yeah. But
It's
that one,
okay.
your subject matter completely changed in the middle of your composition. It'd be because it was a conjuring, and it was like more like an improv, you know. So like you were responding to yourself, and until something came out that you were ready for, but without any preconceived. Because I was wondering that how important is it to you to have an image or a subject in mind when you go to draw?
Well, what happens most of the time when I start with an idea and I have too many ideas, they crash into each other. You know that. And it's hard to sometimes, if you don't have at least an inkling of where you're headed, everything crashes into each other and nothing works. And that's a clumsy position.
Starts when you make a mistake. Cause you can fix it. Before that, you had to be perfect. And that's really tough. It's a lot easier to make a mark, make a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you don't, if you don't have at least a directional thing going on, it
Yeah.
it's usually it fails and you end up wiping off the whole thing and get frustrated. And
Or something that you're shooting for.
like I say, I still probably throw away 70% of what I do. I hate to admit that, but yeah, it is, that's just the way it is.
When you're cleaning that out, are you just wiping it clean with paper? You're not using any chemical or anything?
No, I don't use any other thinner or anything. I can't do that. It's too smelly.
Yeah, so you just wipe it clean.
Just wipe it clean and it's good. And that's good.
On TikTok, Roger, thank you very much.
You betcha. Thank you. Thank you for coming, Bill. Questions? How about answers? Anybody got any answers?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rob.
You bet.
Yeah, a lot of fun to watch, Roger.
Yeah, thank you too.
I didn't have great success today, but it's the way it is. It's a day.
Feel we think otherwise. Yeah. For real. It was really cool to see. Thank you so much.
You bet. I can probably go home and work on in a day or so. I can work on, or throw some more color into these things and do some other stuff to them and make them a little more to my liking.